Welcome to Operation Outreach, a new program to highlight the services available to military veterans right here in Central Florida. I'm Fred Robinson, Chair of the Orange County Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council. Here to tell us more about the DAV is Andrew Marshall, former National Commander. Thank you for joining me today.
It's a pleasure to be here, Fred.
Andy, I just want to ask you a question. When did you serve in the military?
1969 until I was medically retired in 1972 due to combat injuries.
Okay, and what branch were you in?
Army.
Okay,
Army.
And how old were you when you went in?
I turned 20 over in Vietnam.
Oh, okay. Okay, were you drafted or were you enlisted?
Drafted.
Drafted, okay. Well, I appreciate everything you've done for the DAV as far as being national commander and state commander and being the voice of the DAV, which you are. I'd like to ask you a little bit about the DAV Transportation Network.
Our transportation network we've had that for over 20 years. The DAV buys vans from Ford Motor Company at a good price, and we donate those vans to various hospitals and clinics throughout the country. In Florida, we've purchased since inception like 125 vans just in Florida alone. The DAV has purchased to take veterans to and from. And this past year, over 250,000 miles were driven, and over pretty close to 8,000 veterans were transported back and forth to their VA hospital or clinic appointments. Otherwise, many of them would not be able to get there.
Yeah, that seems like with that particular resource, it takes a big burden off the VA.
It does. Our biggest problem is we buy the vans, purchase the vans. Our biggest problem is finding volunteer drivers.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what does the DAV do for adaptive sports?
We partner with the VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, twice a year. One is the Winter Sports Clinic in Aspen, Colorado area. And this past year we had like 300 participants. And a lot of them were blind, amputees, confined to wheelchairs, loss of use of legs, still have them, arms. It's amazing to watch these veterans go up and down a mountain that they never thought they'd be able to do in their lifetime. And the other one is our golf clinic that we partner with the VA. That is in Iowa.
Okay.
That's held out in Iowa. And there were about 180 participants this past year. And the majority of those, Fred, if you can believe it or not, are visually impaired for the golf clinic. Yes, sir. Some of them are visually impaired, plus have loss of an arm or a leg, etc. But visually impaired, I was shocked at how many visually impaired veterans would come there and want to learn how to play golf or try to play golf. They never done it before in their lifetimes, and probably never thought they could do it.
Well, you know, it's very important how meaningful that is.
Yes, it is.
Because it gives them purpose in their life again. Let them belong to something and show that they can still, no matter the challenges that they've been through, that they can still adapt and overcome.
Right.
So, you know, that's really great, and I applaud the DAV for what they're doing there. Does the DAV help any veterans with starting businesses or anything of this sort? Our
newest venture is called Patriot Boot Camp. Patriot Boot Camp was its own 501c3, and DAV took it over, and we run it out of our national headquarters in Erlanger, Kentucky, and entrepreneurs donate their time from businesses to come and talk with veterans trying to start their own business or trying to improve their own business. And again, without the volunteers that from business, from major corporations that come there and donate their time to help veterans get back on the trail and maybe improve their business.
Well, you know, that's a great buy-in from people who have been successful in business to take their time, because time is a commodity you can never get back.
That's right.
To empower our particular veterans and show their respect of the service that they've performed for our particular country. Does the DAV have any programs available or resources available for disaster relief for veterans?
Yes, we do, Fred. And this past year, unfortunately in Florida, it's for all over the country, floods, it's natural disasters. And we gave away pretty close to $500,000 in Florida this year to eligible veterans for disaster relief. Mainly it's, they lose power and it may be off for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, and they lose their food.
Yeah.
And most of it goes to buy them food, replace food, etc.
Yeah, because the state of Florida, was impacted very, very much by the storms that actually went through here. And what does the DAV do to help veterans with their benefits, claims of compensation or injuries? What does the VA do to represent them?
DAV is in personal opinion, and many others, is the best of all when it comes to processing claims assistance, providing that assistance. Highly trained, a 16-month on-the-job training program, all right, to be able to be a national service officer and assist with claims. That's a long time, 16 months. And we're in the VA, every VA regional office, and most hospitals, most VA hospitals, and most clinics except the CBOCs, because they're limited in space for
CBOCs,
those.
yeah.
Yes.
And I'd like to ask you a question. I've known you for a few years now, and the thing is, we wore a uniform at one time, and now we're still doing things to help our fellow veterans, but we're wearing a different uniform. What is your purpose of belonging to the DAV, and why you went to the DAV to do what you do to help veterans and their families?
Well, I spent 15 months recovering from my wounds in Walter Reed, Army Medical Center, back when it was actually Walter Reed. And DAV would come to the hospital, all right, and talk, trips, right? But being there to talk and maybe take you to dinner, you're not eating hospital foods, so you really get real food, and DAV was doing that, and that's my first contact with them. And then I looked for a job and couldn't find one because they wouldn't insure me because of my wounds, and DAV hired me. They hire only service-connected veterans. That's one of the requirements. You have to have a service-connected disability, and they hired me. And I worked for them for 41 years, St. Petersburg, Florida, Hartford, Connecticut, our Board of Veterans Appeals Office, and then I represented at the United States Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims.
Well, I really appreciate you, and it seems like the DAV made a great impression on you.
Oh, yes.
For you to take the banner and be the voice of the DAV. And I'd like to thank you for letting me interview you today, and everything that you continue to do for our veterans yourself personally, and what the DAV does for our particular veterans in our veterans community.
We also have an employment program.
Okay.
A great employment program, and we have job fairs, virtual and in person, and several in Florida every year, Jacksonville always, probably 2 a year, and employers come, and we partner with another organization, Recruit Military, if you ever heard of them, and provide jobs. And if you look on our website, dav.org/jobs, you would not believe the number of jobs offered for veterans and their active military and active military spouses. Mm-hmm.
Well, again, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
For letting me interview you today, and you brought some useful information to us, and I respect you, and I've known you for years, and I appreciate everything that you've done to help veterans, because I've seen you in action.
Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the invitation, and thanks to Orange County for doing this.
You're welcome. It's good to know that there are organizations like DAV in Central Florida helping our veterans access a wide range of benefits that help improve their day-to-day quality of life. DAV is making a difference, and when we come back, we'll hear from a veteran who has benefited firsthand from the services offered by the DAV.
America's veterans are on the tour of their lives. At DAV, we're on a mission to help veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.